All right, everybody, welcome back to Off the Grid on the Record, the podcast where we speak with founders, operators, and energy pioneers building what's next in clean tech. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined with Lee Faisal, the founder and managing director of Amazon Energy, a full-service energy solutions company servicing Victoria-wide, offering solar, batteries, heat pumps, aircon, and energy management with a reputation for transparency and trust. So, Lee, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much, Eric. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, of course. No, we're happy. We're excited for the conversation, and I think you have a lot of great insight to bring in. So, just to start off, give us the quick elevator pitch. What do you guys do?
Thanks, Eric. So Amazon Energy is a complete home and business electrification company. We do, as you mentioned earlier, things from solar, batteries, heat pumps, air cons. Now we're getting into the stovetops. So pretty much if customer wants to remove the gas and just be fully electrified with renewable energy, like I said, that's where Amazon Energy comes in place. That goes for the businesses, homes, industries, you name it.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love it. So, let's start at the beginning. What made you want to launch Amazon Energy, and what gap in the energy market or industry did you see that you were hoping to fill?
Thanks. Look, there was a huge gap. Like I mentioned, I did work for a multinational company, panel manufacturer company for a number of years. I was the Australia New Zealand managing director. And again, I saw a gap in the consumer market where there's a lot of demand, but also there was a lot of those interesting companies were doing the thing which is not right for the consumers and the industry itself. Again, it was given a bit of a bad reputation to the renewable energy in general. All right. And I was definitely not happy with the fact the way things are going. I decided to start Amazon Energy. So we founded pretty much in 2015 when I was first signed up and registered my company. And since then till today, our mission is to do right for the consumers, right for the environment, and right for the country, which is Australia and also New Zealand. All right. Again, so far, Amazon Energy is really making a big name in this industry by having a reputable, good hardware, proper installation, proper savings. And again, the main focus for me initially is to do right for the environment, which is offsetting carbon as much as possible.
That's fantastic.
Great question. So look, like I said, I've been in the industry for more than, I would say, 12 to 15 years so far. So again, it was pretty much like you can say our night taught, where again, had this thing in the back of my mind that, I want to have something which is I can do right for the environment, help people save money, and do something which makes me happy on a daily basis, which is client facing, client management, just being involved with the community in Australia and New Zealand. All right. So it was a bit of you can say a whole bundle of things. And overnight, I just had this thought that I need to be doing this. Woke up one morning and I was like, let's do it. And it took me about 2 to 3 weeks to sign up the company, register it. Thanks to my missus for giving me a bit hand in that space. And we just pretty much launched, started my team. Pretty much I was the guy who was doing everything at the start. I was the operations manager, account manager, sales manager, and everything else. All right. I was doing all of those roles myself.
Solopreneur.
Which is obviously, yeah, pretty much. Hey, so it was quite good. I enjoyed it. Then I started building a team, and rest is a history. Great question. So just to give you a bit of understanding, Eric, in Australia especially, we have, thanks to the federal and state governments, we have a lot of rebates around each individual product. So if customer wants to do a solar, they can receive state rebate, I said between 25 to 30% state rebate, and they can also receive about 30% of federal rebate for doing solar, batteries, heat pumps, and now recently HVAC. All right.
Wow.
So customer in a nutshell can get almost 40% plus of their money covered by these rebates from, again, state and federal rebates. So out of pocket for customers and consumers in Australia, luckily, is very, very low. So
that's incredible.
Customer wants to do, again, gas pricing in Australia is going up. all right? And people just want to move away from gas in general anyway. So when you do it as a bundle, again, we're doing, mostly that's what we do. We're doing aircon, heat pumps, and batteries and solar. If you bundle it all up, add all the rebates, state, federal, the cost is almost no-brainer. So it's for one of the trust factor, as I mentioned, Yarrick, in Australia. So having NETCC, which is used to be Clean Energy Council, which is a government body which basically manages, controls anything to do with renewable energy or energy in general. So us having approved from that, it gives customer a trust. A, they're dealing with someone who's, again, registered by the government bodies. B, that government body supports the consumer in case Amazon Energy does things which are not right. Consumer can pick up the phone, call NETC, and mention that, okay, we did the install done from Amazon, whoever that might be, and we get in a huge trouble as a retailer that if we're not doing the right thing for the consumer, all right? Which makes my life much more easier because we like to do things in the right way. And customers get a full satisfaction. A, we're registered. B, they're fully covered. And C, if anything goes wrong, they can simply pick up the phone for warranties or whatever that might be and get that thing sorted ASAP. Great. So I'm taking Yarrick things a little bit back to a little bit old school. I love all the automation, AI, quick responses and whatnot. I love it. However, I feel like, especially in Australia, the demographic we're dealing with, there are, I would say, people in their 40s all the way up to the 80s, all right? And those old people, especially Aussies, they like a bit of a old school touch, which is face-to-face meetings. Don't really want to do things over the phone anymore, all right? That's where Amazon Energy comes in place. 90% plus of our meetings, including myself and my team, are in-house in front of the customers. We spend time with customers, even if it's a 6.6 kilowatt system all the way to 100 kilowatt, we're treating the customer in the same manner. So customers really, really appreciate that extra bit we're doing, all right? And like I said, I'm a very much of a everyday involved director. I'm going out closing sales with my team, myself on a daily basis, all right? I'm hardly in the office. I enjoy that side of it. And now consumers understand because not many business owners are actually doing what we're doing. They're happy to sit in the office, ask their team to close the sales over the phone, where again, Amazon Energy, we're back to old school. People love it. And we are closing number of sales a week by just having that old school touch, sitting with the customer, explaining them the proposal, pros and cons, having a coffee with them, having a yarn. And at the end, we walk out with a signed proposal. Sure. I personally love the commercial side of it, Yarrick, because I've been doing that for a number of years and I really enjoy having, you can say, those big multi-people corporate meetings. So we've been, again, if in terms of percentage, I would say it's roughly about 30% we're doing commercial and remaining is all residential at this stage. All right. Commercial is obviously very much different dialogue, different people, more corporate stuff, more approvals. As you know, there's a layers and layers and layers of stuff. People have to get approved before we can actually do even a 20 kilowatt solar. But I enjoy that side. It's a slow burner. We have a pipeline, obviously, in the mix where we're doing commercial. So commercial is actually growing on a rapid race. Again, the main push for commercial businesses are the energy cost. In Australia, currently, the energy cost is rising 30% every year. So people who are paying $3,000 last year, you can do 30%. Their bills are almost close to, 30% more, or even double sometime, depending on the usage. So having a renewable energy, which is solar batteries on their roof, which is getting plenty of sun, and having 90% or 70% of the energy from the solar or battery, it's a no-brainer. All right. So it's interesting now, 100 kilowatt system, again, offsets 60 to 70% of our energy for commercial businesses because most of the time they operate in the daytimes, which is great for solar. And the ROIs are now even shorter because of the energy costs going up. When I started 2015, the ROIs were between 5 to 6 years. Same project, energy cost going up, now is between 1 to 2 years. So as a business owner, if you explain the benefits that you're going to be saving from the day dot, and you're going to get all your money back within a year and a half to 2 years as a max, system is yours, all savings are yours, and obviously great for tax purposes as well. So business owners, when they understand that benefit and value, they are pretty much saying, yep, let's do it. Very good timing. We're talking about it, Eric. So currently, just the very exciting news from 1st of July next month, federal government have announced 30% rebate towards batteries, which is brand new. All right. Wow. So in Victoria, just to give you an example, about 40 to 50% homes already have solar installed in Victoria.
That's quite a bit.
Right? And Australia is pretty much a little bit more than that. Those people are waiting for that particular battery rebates to kick in so they can pretty much buy a battery, add it to their solar system, and save that energy and use it in an evening time. Because other topic, feed-in tariffs are almost non-existent, or they're just very, very poor feed-in tariffs. So currently we are very, very busy with batteries. All right. This
of
is
course,
very exciting
I believe
time.
it.
We are doing
about,
we can say roughly 3 to 4 batteries for our current customer where we have done the solar. They're just calling us and saying, you've done a solar. We heard about this news, because every single homeowner have heard this news about rebates. And our phones are crazily busy right now. And we're pretty much booked out, I can say, till 3rd week of July for our install for the battery, just for the batteries. Very good. So another exciting news for Amazon Energy, we are expanding our interstate focus. I always have some focus on the interstate market. Because every state in Victoria, you'll be surprised to see how different it is. For example, Victoria to New South Wales to Western Australia. They have their own compliances, own local regulations, separate rebate. It's like pretty much country within a country, if that makes sense.
Yes, yeah,
right?
We have the same thing. We got provinces up here.
Yeah, so we got the states, and again, each state have their own rule, all regulations, own rebates, everything. They do differently from the other states. So now Western Australia have announced similar thing with something more interesting, which is a interest-free loan up to $10,000 for homeowners to get a battery. No interest, 3 years payback. They're getting the money upfront, $10,000 on top of the federal rebate. So it's crazy in Western Australia right now. Sure, Great Ocean Road is one of my favorite places in Victoria. It's quite iconic. That's where we have the 12 apostles. I'm not sure how many left there now. I think that there's few left, which is one of the wonders in the world. So we did the install about, I would say, 25 minutes drive from 12 apostles. One of my old customer, it was pretty interesting install. Lots of trees on the property, very tricky roof, very, I can say, elevated roof. Again, the sunshine is very, very tricky up on that side of it. And I was there myself from morning till pretty much we did the handover. Look, at the end of the day, once we completed the install, customer was super excited, all right? And it was a funny story. When I first met the customer, the owner of that small business, you can call it, and his home is next door, his thoughts about renewable energy were not as great. I'll tell you that much. His experience with his mates and his couple of past friends and family are not as good. So first time I met him, he was very much standoffish, not really giving much attention about solar. Like, oh yeah, solar, yeah, great. Look, Lee, no offense to you, sound like a great guy. My mate, he did the install a number of years back. System is not working, yada, yada, yada. All these negatives around the renewable energy. So it took me almost 1.5 hours standing around with this guy in his shed next to his switchboard, explaining why he should do it, why Amazon Energy is different, and all these points that we're going back and forth. Anyway, at the end of it, he signed up. We did his install. Now he's a very happy chappy. And now he rang me yesterday. He wants to do a 30 kilowatt hours battery, 15th of July.
That's
sure. Look, we are at this current stage, we're not huge on you can say marketing. I do have a marketing to reduce our marketing, but I would say about 80 to 90% of our business is through referrals, through inbounds, through a couple of sources we have in the country where they send us those referrals, or you can call them leads. That's the way we normally operate. The way I like it, because 90% of the leads are warm leads. It's not that we're doing any cold calling, etc. But plus was something else to mention. Cold calling, door knocking is now completely banned in Australia. So you
Wow, I
can't do
didn't know
any cold
that.
calling. If NETCC find out your lead or your install was from cold calling or door knocking, you are in a huge trouble. You can almost lose your license. Correct. Exactly. That's right. So it has to be customer consent. It has to be, again, customers saying, yep, they want to do it. They're giving it fully consent. They're interested in it. And again, cold calling and door knocking is a no. All right. This is why I'm just, again, sticking with what I know it works for us. Again, which is a bit of marketing, bit of in-house, and bit of the companies we have was giving us the leads through different channels. Yes, 100%. So Yarrick, I'm trying to find a time in my day to start doing some, you can say, small blocks. So Amazon Energy, I've started this small YouTube channel because customers always ask me this question. There's a lot of these repetitive questions being asked. So now, again, I need to really find a time with my team to really do some ongoing videos, some content on our website. So one of my team members suggests, why don't we have like a Q&A or blog post session, you can say, in our website. So anytime customer asks this same question, just say, go on. Lee has put on some content on it. I believe 90% of your question should be answers in that blog or a video. If it's not, then you can give us a buzz. So I'm trying to, again, find a time to do that. Currently, we're just doing some short Facebook videos, LinkedIn, as you probably know, and some of those stuff. But again, I focus from next week onwards, just finding a time in my day, at least half an hour, where I can just record some proper Q&As, especially about batteries, because this batteries is new. A lot of customers are curious. They don't really know what to do, who to trust, brand, what to get, size, etc. So I want to bundle all these things up in one short video, hopefully, and put it up so customer can go in and get the questions answered. Yeah, look, definitely one of the major issue currently, Yarrick, I'm finding, I was in call with a customer this morning before I jumped after my workout. Again, new to the bracket, he's got a solar install 5 years ago, understands fully about solar, battery's new. He wants to know, basically putting his all trust on us, saying, Lee, whatever you're going to say, I'm going to trust on you and I'm going to buy it off you. All right. So it's kind of a pressure of doing the right things for the customer. So this is why I like to educate customers before we say, this is what's going to be best for you. So people are going in fully informed. All right. So again, having to understand what batteries they need, what brand they need. It's funny. I've been contacted four meetings I had last week with different battery manufacturers. And all these different guys are asking us to push their product. And now the battery market in Australia is flooded with new brands. We had almost 3 brands get due to the announcement. 3 new brands launched in Australia in the last month or so. And there's more coming every second week, every second month. So now people are so confused about brands, all right? They're like, I don't know, Lee, which one to trust. There is XYZ brand, ABC brand. Everyone is talking all the things up. We want to know what's good, what's the good service, what's the good value, and things which is not going to catch on fire, or the thing which is going to work for the long term. All right.
Exactly.
And I like to test and trial the brands before I push it out or sell it to my customer. Because for me, my Amazon Energy reputation, again, is more important than anything else out there. So I'm being very selective on which manufacturer I'm partnering up with, which is what I'm saying yes to. And at this stage, again, people contacted us. They're asking us, well, this is a great product, ABCD, do it for us. Well, I said, look, I want to get some understanding case studies done before I can even push out the product to my customers. Because for me, that's again very, very important. So it's a very, very challenging, exciting. It's a bundle of things in the battery space currently. Now I'll show you my calendar. Yarek, you're gonna probably just start crying looking at my calendar. Every minute is booked out pretty much. So, and 90% of, if I can, 90% of my installs I like to be on site before we do the handover. Again, that's the additional value I'm adding, which means I'm checking the quality of the install, making sure the customer was happy with the whole process before I do the final handover and say, this is your final product. Let's turn it on together. Are you happy with it, etc., reviews and whatnot. So I'm doing that extra bit again, which not many business owners are currently doing. All right. And homeowners are they really appreciate that I'm dropping in, checking on the quality of the product before, again, handing over. It's time consuming. Trust me, I'm on the road from 6 in the morning sometime to 8 o'clock, just doing the checks one by one to each team going out and handing over. But I enjoy it. I can see good value in doing that for the customers, for the longevity of the company. And again, that way, it's just, again, trust building, getting referrals. People are like, Lee, I'm very happy with it. My cousins, my auntie, my uncle is looking to do solar. I believe you're the guy. All right, here's the number. Give him a buzz. Internal challenges I currently have. It's an interesting question. Look, always as any other company, you can say nothing is perfect. There's always challenges and things you can improve on. I think me just finalizing a few more things internally in terms of my install scheduling. Currently, we got great system we're working with, but I feel like there's few things I can improve on between my signed proposals, things paid off, / getting it installed and scheduled. Again, it's great, but I believe we can improve on the scheduling side of our job a bit more better. And we have actually signed up with a software company, CRM, not long ago, which is we are in the process of pretty much moving our old school stuff to that software or CRM. And then from that onwards is going to be going filter out. Everything is under one umbrella and our jobs are getting allocated. People are getting jobs. Stock is getting ordered. It's going to be under one CRM, which is I'm very excited about. It's going to take a bit of time to move from A to B. But once it's done, it's going to be fully automated and everything is going to be under one little software. So that's
fantastic.
The challenge, but also there's another solution which I already found and we're working on. Very good question, Yarek. So we are always evolving and I'm always learning on a daily basis. I'm always keeping a sharp eye on what's new out there in my space. So renewable energy, as you know, we have come so far in the last 6 to 7 years. You can say from solar batteries, EV chargers and whatnot. So I'm, again, keeping an eye on what's up in the renewable energy. I think if the hydrogen, which is what I'm very much interested in, hydrogen is another, up and coming renewable, you can say, which they believe it's going to take over even the normal traditional batteries and solar and whatnot. So I'm keeping in touch with the hydrogen companies currently. And I believe once things work out in a way when it's more efficient, more practical to do it, I'll be very much interested to start introducing hydrogen in our residential and commercial sector for Australia and New Zealand market. Look, my vision is pretty simple, Yarek. More and more homes in Australia should have at least solar, if not battery, because, again, grid reliance is getting out of control, all right? And thanks to the, again, federal government, we have a 2050 target for Australia to be at least 80 to 90% renewable, which, again, going to come with homes having a renewable energy system, businesses having it, industries having it, and all, you name it. So that's our target for Australia. And again, we are right in the front section of achieving that. Again, every single thing adds up, If I'm making a difference, if business owner is making a difference, if homeowner is making a difference, all combined, we can achieve that 2050 target. We just need to scale it up a little bit more. We don't really have a lot of resources and people in the country to be able to do that in terms of labor, but I believe with a right setting, more people supporting that infrastructure, I believe we can achieve that. So Amazon Energy, again, we're right in the front of the row, adopting this, doing the renewables, and I believe in the next 3 to 4 years is going to be more and more homes in Australia you will see solar on the roof, batteries, heat pumps, air cons, and getting away from the gas and old traditional source of energy. Everything is online, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google us Amazon Energy. You should be able to find our website. You'll be able to find our contact details. Pretty simple. I've got a team who manages all that. So if you need any help, anything in that regards, please do reach out. And I can bet you that you will not be disappointed. Thank you, Eric. Thanks for having us.